What do you think of the current bidding wars in Halifax? I'm going to share the 3 biggest mistakes people make. Stay tuned. I'll be right back with that. Hey Halifax, Brenda K here in the Sweet Miss Frankie. We're talking about the bidding wars that are out there right now in the Halifax real estate market. It's been across Canada for many, many years, and it was something that always happened in Toronto market, in Vancouver market, or even Calgary market, not here. And okay, here's a seller's market prior to this one, because like I said, it's cyclical and it's low supply, high demand. So when between 2006 and 2008, the government said 100% financing was available. So it got busy. And here's how a seller's market was back then. You might get 2 offers and you may get 5,000 over. So, and I'm going to squash a rumor that's going around right now that says the bidding is going down. Absolutely not. No, it's not. There are houses still going over 100,000. Okay, there was one just last week. It was listed at 409. It sold for 526. So that most definitely is still going up. But here's the thing. You want to own a home, and you're okay buying in this market if you don't make these 3 mistakes. All right, number 1, don't focus on just the interest rate. A lot of people, what they do is they say, just what is the best rate? And they just look at that. And like I tell everyone, look at when you're pre-approved, look at what your payment's going to be. But if it's really cheap, there's usually a catch. And so I'm going to share a story with you. I had a lady many years ago that was with one of the trust companies. I won't say which one because they're still around. And life changed for her. She was having financial difficulties. She had to sell her house. There was not the appreciation value back in 2008, 2009 that there is now. The penalty, I'm not kidding, you ready? Drum roll, $17,000. Can you believe that? I know, that's crazy, isn't it? It's just absolutely nuts. Long story short, she couldn't make enough money to pay off the mortgage and pay the penalty. So unfortunately, she did lose her house to the bank. That can happen. So please, please, please. See, everyone says, oh, I'm locked in for 5 years, I'm not going anywhere. Life can throw you a curveball. It happens. So don't just focus on the lowest interest rate. Next one, bidding with no conditions. No, I know that you really want the house, but bidding with no conditions is so dangerous. Are they doing it? Mm-hmm. Do they do it in Toronto, Ottawa? Mm-hmm. I have an agent I know in Ottawa, and her buyers literally bring a home inspector with them when they're viewing the house. Now, they're not allowed to take things apart. They can't like open up the electrical box and have a look. But if you put a condition on, you're not going to get the house. So I really urge everybody out there in Halifax to put the conditions on, right? And everybody stays in that safe zone. We don't go there. If you're really confident, and this is what some people are doing, they're waiving finance. Okay, they know they need a mortgage. They're so secure in their financial ability that they say, okay, we can wait, but they still send it in. So that does, I checked with the mortgage broker on that, and that clause, he said, oh yeah, that clause can be empty, but still get approval on it. One that terrifies me, absolutely terrifies me, is no inspection. So I had some clients last year, I make everybody sign waivers, and the market was crazy, and the borders were locked down, and this poor couple just wanted back from Ontario. And we had a long talk, and they just said, look, we know how to fix things if things are broken. You know, this house had a septic system on it, and they were adamant they wanted to waive conditions on it. Man, was there some stuff when they moved in. Beautiful pool with a heater that didn't work. Heat pumps in the home that had no fans in them. I mean, it was just, you know, didn't know where the septic was. You know, hadn't had the septic emptied. They waived that, and they chose to waive all that. And so a lot of people say, oh, well, they fill out a property disclosure statement. Well, hooey on them, because what the buyer has to do is fix everything, they have the receipts, and then they sue the previous owner. You have to prove the previous owner knew. Unless it's water damage, that's virtually impossible. You know, even with the pool heater not working. Oh, it worked for us all summer. It must have just broke, right? So I strongly urge you. I'm not giving anybody advice, you know, but myself, to keep yourself safe, I really would think twice about waiving any of the conditions on the contract. Number 3, assess where you're going to be in life in 5 years and 10 years. You know, when we did, most people were trading their homes every 5 to 7 years. That's what the new norm is. And we did it. My husband and I did it. We started in 1983 and didn't settle in our, what we call our forever home, until 1990. So because ownership, you need a long-term ownership you want the market to stabilize. I don't think it's going to crash. Don't worry about that. But you want it to stabilize. And when it stabilizes, you're not going to get the rate of growth that you have seen this year, last year to this year. So look at the house and say, do I have some space? Do I have some space that I'm not quite sure what to do? Because here's a revelation. Toddlers turn into teenagers. So I'll give you an example. When we bought our house, you know, we had a basement down there, and there was no need of it, right? I had 3 little ones under 5 years old. They were all sleeping upstairs. But when they got to be teenagers, where did they go? That's where they hung out. So we had room in the house. Maybe there's a bedroom down there that the toddler can't go in, but the teenager could go in. And, you know, I guess, I'm not going to say how old I am, but when you do get older, you realize how fast life goes by and how, again, that you're throwing curveballs in it. So be very, very careful with waiving the conditions. So let's just review these again. Don't just shop for the best interest rate. Waiving the conditions can be very, very dangerous. Assess where you're going to be in 5 years. Like I said, life can throw us a curveball and we never know when it's coming. If you enjoyed my video, please hit subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Check out this next video up in the corner. I'm Brenda K with the Halifax Home Selling Group. This is the sweet Miss Frankie who's with me every day. Cheers.